Hello, friends. Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, once he said, education is the most powerful weapon one can use to change the world. Today, in our topic, we are going to discuss about data cleaning. Under data cleaning, we're going to see five different functions. Removing duplicates, how to remove blank cells from Excel, how to replace empty cells like using a trim function, formatting cells, and also we are going to see how to use floor and ceiling function. That is the agenda for today. And let's start with how to remove duplicates from Excel sheet. Removing duplicates is a very important activity, especially when you are working on data. Let's start this activity. Control A. Before we start, we have to identify a unique column. That is very important before we remove duplicate. City column is not a unique column because you might have similar cities repeating multiple times in a data range. Same cities could come multiple times in a same range, right? Similarly, you cannot have date of joining or a department as a unique field. But in this case, if you see employee number can be considered as a unique field because you may not have a duplication in an employee number. One employee number will not be shared with multiple employees, right? So in this case, assume that employee number is unique. What we are going to do is we are going to consider employee number for removing the duplicates. Control A, you have to go to data, in that remove duplicates, unselect all, and then select employee number and give OK. Now the duplicates which are available, the line items, the entire rows will be deleted based on the duplicates. Now you could see the result. It says that 63 duplicate values found and removed, 325 unique values remain. So these are the unique values which remain. The ones which are repeated have been removed from the dataset. Now, so now we have completed the task of removing duplicates based on the unique field which is employee number. So let's move on to the next activity where we are going to remove the line items or the rows which has blank cells, the missing values. How do we identify which are the ones blank? For your reference, I have kept it as a I have kept all those values in the different color. You could be able to see here the values are empty highlighted right here. Now assume that we have many more like this blank cells in our data set. In that scenario, it is very difficult for us to pick all the blank cells manually. It is very tedious process. How to select values which are blank without without doing it manually, right? So what we can do is we can select Control A, or we can select only compensation and go to F5, which is function F5, select special. In that you can select blanks. When you give OK, you can able to see that the cells which are blanks. Okay, now we can change the color also. The cells which are blanks now have been selected. They have been selected now, right? In this case, okay. In this case, we have blank cells in other columns also. What we can do is we can select entire data set. Okay, from here to here, we can select entire data set. Function F5 special, can select blanks. Blank cells will get selected, and then we can change it to different color. Now you can able to see the empty cells, right, given here. Now what we can do is we can just once you have identified the empty cells, now it has been selected using F5 blank cells. Immediately we can use Alt ED function entire row because the selection has been done already. So what we can do is once the selection is done, we can straight away you can select this option and give OK. So the empty cells are deleted from the dataset. because these are missing values which we don't want to include in our data set, right? Either we can replace empty blank cells, or we can remove it. In this scenario we have removed it. Okay, now let's move on to the next option, next function, right? Next function we are going to discuss is how to you know uh, trim a data set. Now in this case you could able to see a lot of empty spaces in the department, like so you can see here, just see this one, we have empty spaces before payroll. Similarly, you can see empty spaces in other places also. Some places has empty spaces. You can see an empty space. Lot of spaces are empty. So manually we cannot change it. So we can use a function called trim, equal to trim. Open the bracket. Select the function. Using that, you can able to populate values. Once you have populated the value, you can do Control C, right click, paste special values. Convert this into values. Don't leave it in the formulas. That is very important. Now you can see in front of a text or after the text, you can see now that, so it is trimmed value now. And then in case if you want to format this value, let's say you want to have everything in uppercase, we can use a function called upper equal to upper. Select the data set, the particular cell, close it, you will get. Or if you want to keep it as a lower, you can just keep lower. Like this you can change it, choice yours. Mostly we use a function called proper. The ideal function for any formatting. We can use proper, where the first letter will be capital letter. If it is a media relations, then M will be capital, R will, sorry, M will be capital. Similarly, relations, R will be capital. You could able to see it here in comparison to the other examples, right? Now, once you're done with this one, again you can Control C, paste special values. How to do it manually? If you don't know Alt E S formula, okay, you can either use Alt E S for values conversion, or you can right click, copy, paste special values. After that you can delete it because we don't need in, this particular. The last function for today we are going to see is floor and ceiling function. Now compensation is given like this, right? 46, 662, 67, 859. Now we have been asked to round up or round down the value with a significance of 1000, which means that if it's a 46,662, we have to convert this into 47,000. Basically, the significance here we are going to have it is 1000. Right? So it is, since it is 46,662, which is what above 46,500, we are converting it to the nearest uh, 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 integer, basically, right? So which means, in the sense, based on the significance of 1000, and significance of 1000, we are doing it. So equal to, we can use equal to ceiling. Now you could able to see that if, when I used ceiling 1000, 46,662 has become 47,000. 67,859 has become 68,000. So when you use a ceiling function, you can able to you know uh, take the value to the higher value, right? Which is a ceiling, basically, right? The name says that. If you use a floor function, it will be vice versa. Like if you use a floor function, we will get in the will get a lesser value. Like if it's a 46,662, it becomes 46,000, not 47,000, because we are using a floor function. That is the difference between floor and ceiling. If you are using a ceiling, the upper limit, the value will be increased by significance of 1000. If you are using a floor, the value will be decreased with the significance of 1000. So that is floor and ceiling. I hope you have understood the concepts very clearly, whatever we had discussed today. Thank you.